Gixter Squid, unlike the Helton years, SC finished in the red zone, had 0 turnovers. It kept moving the ball. The vibe was totally different. I could not have said it more succinctly. That's exactly how I felt about this game. The Graham Harrell thing, where we just constantly, and actually you can go before Graham Harrell. It was a Helton thing where we get into the red zone and we're kicking field goals or we're getting no points. It was refreshing to see the way they handled the ball inside the red zone. Something us Trojan fans have been waiting for and deserve better for a long time. Also, this is proof to you guys that there are some practical Sooner fans out there. This is one of the better members of Mark's community. So how do you feel about Alex Grinch? And my real question, where the hell was this last year? Well, the thing is we are seeing that attacking opportunistic defense that Grinch is always talking about doing. They want to attack. They want to cause a lot of turnovers, and they did. But I am gonna pause a little bit because again, this was Rice. A couple of those balls were off-tip passes, so I'll believe it when I see it against Stanford next week.
I think that's very true, but certainly was a good thing. And I never thought Oklahoma fans gave Alex Grinch enough credit. They had, before he came there, they had one of the worst defenses in all of FBS, but it was overcome by their offense. And so he certainly did a great job at Oklahoma making them better. Not quite, they didn't get quite to what they had. Oh wait, hold on. We have a question right now. Roger Dodger, do you guys do a sweaty report from the Coliseum? If we have somebody who was at the Coliseum who could call in, we'd love it. Tim was going to be our guy there, but is still a little bit sick today and couldn't make it.
A little bit. No, you guys, I am barely holding in there. I've got COVID, so this was one nice refreshing break in the action watching the game. But yeah, there was no way. Even if I wasn't contagious, I don't think I could have made it to the game today.
Well, Tim, we all want you to get better.
Another refreshing thing that I saw today, I believe we had 6 penalties, and I did not see one false start or a delay of game. Am I wrong?
No, and as somebody pointed out earlier, we ended the first. We had like all 3 timeouts at the end of the first half. When does that happen? We're not used to that for USC.
So coming out of that PTSD, and it feels good. So there's a lot of positive things. Again, it's just like Rice, but Miami put up a 70 burger on Bethune-Cookman. I mean, who is Bethune-Cookman? Is it a man? Is it a woman? Who is Bethune?
Can we say that
Roger Dodger, Utah? It looks official, guys. Utah is toast.
It's official.
Like they're going to go down to Florida 29-26 in the swamp.
Can we say it? It's official that Utah just couged it.
Utah just couged it.
Can we mix those up? Can we mix those 2 teams up?
They had first goal. They fumbled. They turned the ball over.
Threw an interception in the end zone.
Oh.
Gators win.
So it's kind of like the Rose Bowl last year.
The one thing they couldn't do, literally the one thing they couldn't do is throw a pick, and they throw a pick.
Yeah. Go good. By the way, kudos to everybody from Florida. You guys also playing with a brand new coaching staff, lots of transfers. Kudos to the Gators. You guys get a Gator chomp for that. That was a pretty impressive game for Florida. Billy Napier era is off to a new start.
And then Tony, going back to 2008, I can't give out Gator chomps either. So I'm sorry, you're on your own that one.
Utah, that's what that tells me.
Yeah, as John points out, literally could have run it, kicked a field goal. The only thing they couldn't do was throw it to the other team, and that's what they did.
So am I right by saying that right now Arizona is ahead of Utah and Oregon in the Pac-12 standings?
You are. And Vanderbilt is ahead of both of them in overall national standings.
Yeah, they're ahead of Bama even.
Yeah, they are. That's right. That's right. Vanderbilt looking good. John asks this big question still. What's a Ute?
I think I learned that on my cousin Vinny. It's a young adult.
It's exactly. That's a great movie, by the way. What was that? The Pac-12 looked no bueno today, minus USC. Well, that is, I want to be sad about that, but I'll take it. because the Trojans looked great today. It was a day that we've certainly been waiting for a long time. And I think that USC fan. Although by the way, the day's not over. We have a couple of really important Pac-12 games still coming up. Notably, Oregon State Boise, which is Boise certainly rich program, lots of recent history in the big sort of champion of the Mountain West, and so many times recently going to Corvallis, and Oregon State's looking to have a great team, continue on last year's success. So I think this is a really important opportunity for the Beavs to do what they need to do. Mark points out USC always carries the Pac-12. We have obviously I've missed those days when that was always true.
Well, I think today is one of those days. Maybe we're seeing since we got Tide guy of the Tide. So here we go. We're going to do it for 2 more years. I mean, we carried UCLA to the Big Ten, right? So why can't we carry the rest of the Pac-12? Here you got Oregon and you got Utah remaining in the Pac-12. Washington plays later tonight, but they're auditioning for the Big Ten, right? Or they're auditioning to stay in the Pac-12 with unequal revenue sharing. Those dogs, right? They chose to give it to SC and UCLA some 12 years or 10 years ago with the Pac-12 emergence with Larry Scott and DirecTV, not the DirecTV deal with the Pac-12 network.
The bomb.
They want revenue sharing. So, hey, I'm sorry, Oregon. I'm sorry, Utah. You had your chances, and you just didn't cut it. Now we're going to have to deal with the national narrative that's going to start tomorrow morning or starting right now.
It's certainly starting right now.
Right. We're going to have our backs up against the wall. Even if we somehow win 11 games, well, you beat Utah, and Utah lost to an unranked Florida, right?
Yeah, and Stubby 1085 points out he didn't get to go to the game. OU fans have questions. How did Caleb look and how did Raleek look? Caleb looked great. Raleek looked great. I would say, particularly from the offensive standpoint, everybody looks fantastic. Granted, it was rice, so we'll take it with a grain of rice instead of a grain of salt. But it certainly, I think they all looked good.
Caleb was almost literally surgical. He was 19 to 22 for 249 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Raleek, 2 receptions for 40 yards, and then on the ground.
And I would say one of the things actually that, funny enough, you guys are going to laugh at this because it's kind of awesome. But one of the things that hampered the USC offense was they were actually denied a lot of possessions because of our 3 pick sixes on the defense.
Yeah, and Raleek Brown was 6 for 36 yards, so that's 6 yards a carry if my math's right on that, and a touchdown. So he had an awesome game. I was surprised. I really thought we'd see a lot more Travis Dye, a lot more Austin Jones, but they came out Raleek heavy. Raleek got early playing time that first drive got the goal line. All of a sudden, wait, Raleek's in there, so it was interesting to see that look. But again, obviously this coaching staff has a lot of confidence in this freshman, and they get him out there early. And again, in key situations like the red zone. Yeah, it was really good to watch.
I like what Lincoln Riley did. He basically spread the ball around, had Caleb spread the ball around with our running back and wide receivers. So many guys got involved. So there you go, Stanford. Check it out. Check out the tape and see what you're going to do. And he's going to take it to the next step next week. And I'm sure he'll have some great plays drawn up to take advantage of Stanford. So phenomenal.
Well, you think about 19 completed passes to 12 receivers.
Yeah.
Good luck watching that film, right?
Guys, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. We've got John says talking about the pick sixes, 3 is probably the record. Actually, it's the second most or tied for second most in something like 35 years or something like that. So yeah, 3 pick sixes was ridiculous. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, the weird thing was 2 of them were from linebackers was even more amazing. The fact that middle linebackers are making that pick. Seemed pretty amazing.
And again, guys, it was Rice. It was not against Alabama.
But the one thing that you look at with this defense is we have a lot of length. You look at Kalen Bullock in the back. You look at Eric Gentry, right?
6'6" linebacker.
Exactly. You have a lot of length, and you're going to be getting your hands up in the passing lanes, and you're going to get a lot of these tip balls. And look what's happening. They're obviously practicing it in practice because those pick six don't just happen by luck, right? So they are, to me, looking like they're being coached as a fast, opportunistic defense, and that's going to be part of their calling card. Is like the Pete Carroll days. It's go get the ball, turn the ball over, right? That's what they're doing. So it'll be interesting to see how they do against Stanford.